Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Sarosh and I am a foundation level student at Rehansu Life at Campus Islamabad. And today I am doing my Chatgpt and my topic is water. So let's start it. Hello Chatgpt, can you listen me?
Of course, Sarosh, I can hear you perfectly. I'm ready to help you with your topic on water. What aspects of water are you focusing on? Its importance, properties, or something else?
So Chatgpt, today I have some questions for you. Can we start it?
Absolutely. Go ahead and ask your question, and I'll do my best to answer them. What's your first question about water?
Okay, so my first question is that why is water essential for life?
That's a great question. Water is essential because all living organisms rely on it. It helps transport nutrients, regulate body temperature, and it's a key component of all cells. Without water, life as we know it couldn't exist.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is that what makes water unique among natural elements?
That's a really interesting one. Water is unique because of its molecular structure. It forms hydrogen bonds, which give it a high surface tension, make it a great solvent, and even let it expand when it freezes, like ice floating on water. So it's super versatile.
So ChatGPT, can you tell me that how did ancient human first understand water?
Yeah, that's really fascinating. Ancient humans likely observed water in nature, rivers, rain, dew, and they saw its importance for survival. Over time, they recognized patterns like how crops needed water or how bodies of water provided fish and travel routes. So their understanding grew from careful observation and daily life experience.
So tell me that why is water often associated with survival?
Yeah, so water is kind of the foundation of life. All living things need it, humans, animals, plants, because it's crucial for hydration, digestion, and even the chemical processes inside cells. Without water, survival just isn't possible.
So ChatGPT, can life exist without water?
That's a really thought provoking question. As far as we know, water is indispensable for life. All known life forms rely on it. There's speculation about possible life in extreme environments, like on other planets or moons where liquids might be different, but so far we haven't found life without water.
Okay, that's a great answer. So ChatGPT, tell me that why do scientists search for water on other planets?
Yeah, that's a big focus in space exploration. Scientists look for water because it's essential for life as we know it. And if we find water, it means we might find the right conditions for life to exist, or even for humans to one day live there. So water is kind of a universal clue.
Okay, so my next question is that what role does water play in ecosystem?
That's a really important one. Water is kind of the lifeblood of ecosystems. It provides a habitat for aquatic life, it shapes weather patterns, and it cycles through streams, rivers, and oceans, supporting plants, animals, and even the climate itself.
So ChatGPT, my next question is that how does water connect all living organisms and why is Earth called the blue planet?
Great question. Water connects all living organisms because every form of life depends on it, whether it's for drinking, growth, or metabolism. And Earth is called the blue planet because a huge portion of its surface, over 70%, is covered by water, making it appear blue from space.
Okay, that's a great answer. So ChatGPT, tell me that how has water shaped human civilization?
Yeah, that's a really big one. Water has shaped human civilization in so many ways, from the development of agriculture along rivers like the Nile or the Indus to the rise of trade in cities near coastlines. It's really been a cornerstone of human progress.
So tell me that how did life begin in Earth ocean?
That's a big mystery. The leading idea is called abiogenesis. Basically, simple molecules in the early oceans formed more complex organic compounds, possibly around deep sea vents. Over time, these compounds became the first simple life forms, like bacteria.
So ChatGPT, tell me that what theories explain life emerging from water?
Yeah, so one of the main theories is called the primordial soup hypothesis. It suggests that life began in a warm, nutrient rich ocean where simple molecules reacted and eventually formed more complex structures, leading up to more cells. Another idea is the hydrothermal vent theory, which says that life might have started around deep sea vents where chemicals and heat were abundant. So both tie water to life's beginnings.
So tell me that why were early organisms aquatic?
Yeah, that's a great point. Early organisms were aquatic because water provided a stable environment. It protected them from harsh conditions, gave them nutrients, and allowed for easier movement. Basically, the ocean was the perfect cradle for life to form and evolve.
So my next question is that how did water support evolution?
Yeah. Water really helped evolution because it allowed life to diversify in different environments. In water, the early life forms could adapt, reproduce, and explore new niches, like moving from shallow seas to land or developing specialized traits. So, water was this launching pad for evolutionary change.
Okay, so my next question is that what role did rivers play in early settlements and how did oceans influence migration?
Yeah, rivers were absolutely crucial for early settlements. They provided water for drinking, irrigation for crops, and a means of transport and trade. Meanwhile, oceans connected continents. Early humans migrated along coastlines, using ocean routes to move between regions, spreading cultures and even discovering new lands.
So my next question is that why are cells mostly made of water and how does water maintain biological balance?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Cells are mostly water because it's the perfect medium for biochemical reactions, dissolving nutrients, transporting molecules, and keeping structures stable. Water also maintains biological balance by regulating temperature, balancing pH, and ensuring that cells stay hydrated and functional.
So tell me that what happens to life when water disappears and could future life forms evolve without water?
Yeah, so if water disappears, life as we know it would struggle to survive. Cells dry out, metabolism stops, and ecosystems collapse. As for future life, it's really speculative. Some scientists wonder if life could evolve in extreme environments with other chemicals like methane, but so far, water is pretty fundamental.
So ChatGPT tell me that why do many languages use water metaphors?
That's a really nice point. Water is such a universal life giving force that it naturally shows up in language. So we talk about flow, depth, or being in hot water. These metaphors just connect us to something deeply familiar and essential.
So tell me that what phrases compare emotions to water and why do we say ideas flow?
Yeah, that's really cool. We often compare emotions to water because it's fluid, deep, and sometimes unpredictable, like being calm as a lake or feeling overwhelmed like a flood. And we say ideas flow because just like water, they move smoothly from one place to another, connecting thoughts, inspiration, and creativity.
So my next question is that how does language describe calmness using water imagery?
Yeah, that's a really common image. Language often describes calmness as a still lake, a gentle stream, or a serene ocean. These images evoke a sense of quiet, balance, and safety, just like when water's perfectly still.
So tell me that why is depth linked with intelligence or emotion?
That's a really powerful connection. Depth in water suggests vastness and mystery. So when we talk about someone having depth, we mean they have a rich inner life or complex emotions. Similarly, deep waters can also symbolize deep thinking or profound ideas.
So ChatGPT tell me that how has water influenced poetry and storytelling?
Oh, water is such a rich symbol in poetry and storytelling. Poets use it to represent life, change, emotions, and even the passage of time. It gives a sense of flow, mystery, and depth. So you see it in everything from ancient myths to modern novels.
So tell me what idioms involve water across cultures?
Yeah, there are a ton. For instance, in English, we say to be in hot water when we're in trouble, or still waters run deep for a quiet, complex person. In many cultures, rivers symbolize life or journeys, like the Ganges in India or the Nile in Egypt. So, water idioms really cross cultural boundaries.
So tell me that why do writers use rivers and oceans symbolically and how does water shape communication style?
Yeah, absolutely. Writers use rivers and oceans symbolically because they represent vast journeys, change, or the flow of time, like a character crossing a river to reach a new stage. And water shapes communication styles because, just like water, words can flow smoothly, break through barriers, or pool together, depending on how they're used.
So my next question is that can language itself be compared to water?
Oh, definitely. Language can be compared to water because it's fluid and adaptable. It flows through cultures, changes over time, and can fill or shape spaces like a river carving out its path. So, language really does have that same kind of dynamic, lifelike quality.
So my next question is that why were ancient civilizations built near rivers and how did water influence trade and exploration?
Yeah, that's a great point. Ancient civilizations settled near rivers because they needed reliable water for drinking, farming, and sanitation. Rivers also became natural trade routes. They let goods, ideas, and people move easily, sparking exploration and connection between distant regions.
So tell me that what religious rituals involve water? Okay, ChatGPT. So my next question is that what religious rituals involve water and why is water linked with purification? So tell me that why were seas both feared and respected and how did sailors' language evolve from ocean life? So my next question is that what role did water play in agriculture and how has access to water shaped power and politics?
And Euphrates became centers of wealth and influence, while those without had to compete for scarce resources.
So ChatGPT, my next question is that how has access to water shaped power and politics?
That's a really profound question, and it's one that stretches all the way back through human history. Access to water has often been a defining factor in who holds power and who doesn't. In ancient times, civilizations that controlled rivers, like the Egyptians with the Nile or the Mesopotamians with the Tigris and Euphrates, became immensely wealthy and influential because water meant food, trade, and security. In more modern times, we see this dynamic still playing out. Think about water scarcity in the Middle East or South Asia. Nations or regions with secure water access often have a significant strategic advantage, influencing everything from domestic policy to international diplomacy. So, in short, water is not just a resource, it's a fundamental pillar of political and economic power.
Okay, that's a great answer. So tell me that why does water unite different cultures and why do people feel relaxed near water?
That's such a beautiful question. Water really is a universal connector. Across cultures, rivers, lakes, and oceans are meeting place. They're places for trade, shared rituals, and storytelling. They often transcend boundaries because water is something every human needs and experiences. And as for why people feel relaxed near water, there's something primal about it. The sound of waves, the rhythm of a stream, or just the vast openness of an ocean tends to calm our minds. It's like a natural antidote to stress, grounding us in something bigger than ourselves.
So ChatGPT, my next question is that why do humans associate water with peace and how does water symbolize change?
That's a really rich question, and water as a symbol is incredibly powerful across cultures, especially for women. For one, water is often linked to the feminine in many traditions. Think of mythologies, goddesses tied to rivers, lakes, or oceans, like the Greek goddess Amphitrite or the Hindu river goddess Ganga. These associations often represent life, nurturing, and flow qualities traditionally associated with women's roles as caregivers or life givers. Water also symbolizes peace because it has this quiet, harmonizing power. When we think of a calm lake or a gentle stream, it evokes a kind of balance, a stillness that contrasts with the chaotic rush of daily life. This sense of serenity offers a psychological safe haven, especially for women who historically may have been more tied to domestic or caregiving spaces where water was a daily presence, like in the baths, rivers, or even washing clothes. Beyond that, water
So
is also
tell
a
me,
symbol of change.
ChatGPT, tell me that why is water connected to healing and how do waves represent human emotion?
Absolutely. Water is deeply connected to healing, both physically and psychologically. On a physical level, water's been used in therapeutic practices for centuries. Think of hydrotherapy, warm baths, or natural springs. Water can soothe aches, reduce stress, and promote relaxation, often because it lowers cortisol levels and slows the heart rate. Psychologically, being near water, listening to waves, dipping your feet in a stream can trigger a parasympathetic response, calming the nervous system and creating a space for reflection and recovery. Waves, in particular, are a powerful metaphor for human emotions. Just as waves rise and fall, our feelings fluctuate. Calm one moment, turbulent the next. Waves also reflect repetition and rhythm. Like emotions, they come in cycles, sometimes predictable, sometimes surprising. People often describe riding the wave of emotions. Just as waves can crash, recede, and build again, so can feelings, often with a natural ebb and flow. In that way, water and waves become a universal language for expressing the complexities of human inner life.
So, ChatGPT, my next question is that why do people reflect deeply while watching water, and can water inspire creativity?
That's a beautiful question. People often reflect deeply when watching water because it naturally draws us inward. Water has this rhythmic, ever changing quality like a mirror. It reflects not just the outside world, but also our inner landscape. As we gaze at a stream, a river, or the ocean, our mind tends to quiet down. There's a certain openness, a spaciousness in watching water, which gives us a mental pause, space where we're more receptive to deeper thoughts, memories, or new insights. In terms of creativity, water is a profound source of inspiration. The unpredictability of water, its patterns, colors, and movement can spark a creative flow. Many writers, artists, and musicians describe water as a muse. It gives them a sense of infinite possibility. For some, water evokes childhood memories, a sense of wonder or freedom. So when they're near water, they feel liberated to dream bigger, think differently, and create with a sense of ease. In that way, water is like a
So,
catalyst.
ChatGPT, tell me that what life lessons can be learned from water, and is life more like a river, rain, or ocean?
That's a really profound question, and water really does offer a rich set of life lessons. One key lesson is adaptability. Water doesn't resist, it flows. It moves around obstacles, wearing them down over time. Similarly, life often requires us to adapt to challenges. Just like water, we become more resilient when we bend rather than break. Another lesson is patience. Think of a river carving out a canyon over millennia. It reminds us that lasting change happens slowly with persistence. If we ask whether life is more like a river, rain, or ocean, each carries a different metaphor. A river is like life's journey, sometimes calm, sometimes rapid, always moving toward a destination. Rain is more spontaneous, brief, renewing, and sometimes unpredictable, like sudden opportunities or emotions. The ocean, meanwhile, is vast and deep, like the unknown, a reservoir of both mystery and possibility. So, depending on where we stand in life, we might relate to each form of water differently. But all remind us that life, like water, is about flow, transformation, and depth.
So, ChatGPT, my next question is that why is clean water becoming scarce worldwide, and how does pollution threaten water system?
That's a really critical issue today. Clean water is becoming scarce worldwide for a number of interconnected reasons. First, population growth is a huge factor. As more people inhabit the planet, demand for fresh water increases, often outpacing natural replenishment. Then there's industrialization and urbanization. Factories, agriculture, and cities all put massive strain on water supplies, often diverting rivers or overusing aquifers faster than they can be replenished. Climate change is another huge driver. Droughts are more frequent, rain patterns are shifting, and glacial melt, once a key freshwater source, is slowing down. Pollution is another massive threat to water systems. Industrial waste, agricultural runoff like pesticides and fertilizers and plastic pollution all contaminate rivers, lakes, and oceans. Once these water sources are polluted, they become unsafe for drinking, agriculture, and even basic hygiene. Pollutants like microplastics or heavy metals can linger for decades in the water cycle, poisoning ecosystems and even entering the food chain. In short, the scarcity of clean water is a consequence of human activity, overuse, pollution, and climate shifts. Addressing it requires a combination of better resource management, stricter environmental regulations, and a global commitment to safeguarding this precious resource for future generations.
Okay, ChatGPT, my next question is that what can individuals do to conserve water, and how does climate change affect ocean and rivers?
That's a really important question. Individuals can make a big impact on water conservation by adopting small daily habits. For instance, reducing water waste in the home. Shorter showers, fixing leaks, using water efficient appliances can add up. Beyond the home, choosing native plants and gardens to reduce irrigation needs, collecting rainwater, and supporting policies or businesses that prioritize water efficiency can make a real difference. Even something as simple as being mindful of water use when cooking or brushing teeth accumulates. Climate change has a profound impact on oceans and rivers. Rising global temperatures lead to ocean warming, which disrupts marine ecosystems. Coral reefs bleach, fish populations shift, and sea levels rise. Rivers, too, are affected. Changing rainfall patterns alter river flows, sometimes causing droughts or sometimes leading to flooding. Melting glaciers that feed rivers reduce freshwater supply, and saltwater intrusion from rising sea levels contaminates freshwater sources. So, climate change doesn't just threaten oceans, it destabilizes the entire hydrological cycle, affecting rivers, communities, and food security. In sum, both individual actions and systemic changes are vital if we want to protect water sources in a warming world.
So viewers, this is my chat GPT. Hope so you like it. Meet you in the next video. Pakistan Zindabad. Khuda Hafiz.